buffering. Bad connection in the half space now. I think we just got a bad setup right now. Nobody gets in here. There's something going on with the half space. 30 seconds in. We'll give it a chance to set up, see if it clicks in to YouTube, clicks in to Facebook. If it does not, I know it's still on some bullshit. And we'll start it again. Because I really want to get a clear clip of this, just because when I got this audio and I listened to this audio over and over, and I was like, you know what? I listened to the audio and I said, this is deserving. And although kind of making fun of a situation, I'm really not throwing shade. Just trying to get a brother, I definitely want to give him his flowers. Like I said, I haven't had a clear confirmation that we're up yet and that we're clear. So until then, I'm going to bullshit my way through it and make sure that we got a good signal. Because if we don't have a good signal, I don't want to do it. Because then I'll end up doing it again. This is the second one. I think I got to delete the other one. I deleted it on Facebook. So I got to delete the other one on House. So if anybody checks in here and if it's buffering, it's not clear, if you can just throw it in the chat, that would be all we need. That would be all we need. So is it buffering? It doesn't look like it's buffering in the Facebook space. How about YouTube? Boom, 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 boom. Does not look like it is buffering in the YouTube space. Okay. Does not look like that. No, bro. I'm live right now. Basically, YouTube. So, it's pretty clear, I guess, from what it looks like on YouTube. So we'll run with it. Anybody drops in here in the next few minutes. I wanted to congratulate Dr. Boyce Watkins, Dr. Boyce and Alicia, I believe is her name, Watkins, on their nuptials. They're getting married today. If I'm not mistaken, they're already gone through with it. So the Watkins family celebrating now. And I don't fuck with Dr. Boyce, on a lot of levels, but I do watch some of his casts. He has some interesting concepts, so I check him out from time to time. I don't rock with him a lot, on the activism shit, because there was once upon a time where he said black people wouldn't get reparations, and he really wasn't lobbying for it, and now he's lobbying heavier for it, and maybe he just has, a better understanding for it. Maybe he has some discernment for it. I don't know why he didn't before, but he fucks with Dr. Claude, so Dr. Claude, is about reparations. I don't know why, Dr. Boyce wouldn't be. But either way, so it definitely looks like something's going on in the half space, because I can see numbers going through Facebook Oh, that looks different. Let's see if that actually is giving. So that's not even giving the accurate time. That's not giving the accurate time. So there's something going on there. But hopefully, yeah, it's coming through. Um, Getting married is a serious thing. You know, I was there. I went there, and I think the two people got to complement each other. You know, I know a lot of people say, you know, you complete me, but I believe it takes two complete individuals, and they may need a missing piece to their puzzle, but I think it takes two complete individuals to get together to complete each other. A lot of people think that, you know, they're like 50, 60%, and they get a person that's 50, 60%, and they're whole now. And I don't think that's just the way it works, but, you know, it is what it is. Everybody's got their own belief and ideologies in that shit. You know, my thing is, I think you need to be as solid as you can be if you're going to go down that marital lane. You really do. If you're going to go down that marital lane, you need to be as solid as you can be. You can't be in a position where a motherfucker is flat out just carrying you, or, you know, you're carrying them. It's exhausting. And that's like on all levels, not just finance. A lot of people think finances first. No, your spirituality, your physicality. I mean, you know, your mentality, all that shit. It's gotta be right. And if your mate is not in sync with all that shit with you, then y'all ain't gonna be right. So, but yeah. So Dr. Boyce is getting married, and he's been doing these casts with his now wife recently, and she's been chiming in on stuff, and they actually make a pretty good combination. Maybe they'll do a little husband wife thing now. Maybe they didn't want to do it because they weren't married, and you know, some black people think about people, are they just shacking, or they just doing what, I don't know, you know. So maybe they wanted to do it the right way. Maybe they wanted to get married before they really start putting out all of their Watkins material. So they had a cast, and they were talking about T.I. and Tiny and their legal troubles. And I wasn't so much into that because I think, really, I believe this is all a big machine situation. And I think somebody's trying to take T.I. down from the inside. But it is what it is. I just have a hard time with some of the stories that have come out. But anyway, so I wasn't really big into that, but it said something about them possibly having some issues in LA or something. It was a clickbait. You know, hopefully Dr. Boyce will admit there was a clickbait once it all comes out. Because when you watch the shit, they talk about T.I. and Tiny, but, you know, there's a whole lot of other shit that they talk about, you know. And it was definitely a good clickbaiter because it got me. But they got into talking about how many kids they had, and, you know, this was bad for the kids to have to see and go through. And it had some dialogue, and I'm telling you, you know, I've heard of people, not heard of people, I've seen people literally rolling on E. And I don't know. I don't believe Dr. Boyce is into any type of illicit drugs or even cannabis. He may drink, I don't know. But he was so wide open in this interview, I would have thought that he was on something. And I'm definitely not saying he was on something because his trolls might come after me, and then they might report the shit to him and be like, "You said he was on dope." I never said he was on dope, you bitches. So I understand that. I'm not saying he was on dope. Well, this was kind of the gossip thing too, sis. And is the sound clear, sis? Is the video clear, sis? I'm trying to get this done on a second take here. First take was bad, so hopefully it's clear. That's why I hadn't ran the audio that I want to run, because I really want to run the audio, because the audio is out cold. The audio is out cold. It's only about a minute and a half, but you gotta like really hear it clearly. I don't want it buffering and shit. Appreciate it, family. But yeah, they did this, and I recorded some of the audio that was pertinent to me. And that's why I'm throwing a little shade at Boyce, but I'm not really throwing shade because Boyce is really a hard edge type motherfucker with his cast, and y'all know how I bring my content. So sometimes you just gotta have a good time. Sometimes you gotta have a good time with shit, with all this shit that we do. You know, as a content creator, I respect Boyce. I respect what he does, respect what he's doing. But this shit, I had to go back and listen to it over and over and over because it sounds like he's really out there rolling. And if anybody knows anything about designer drugs, they know what rolling is. So it ain't Rolling Martin. So you got to hear the audio, and then we'll break it down. We'll listen to it all the way through, and then we'll break it down afterwards. But the shit is just funny. So let me just get to it. He had some Uncle Nears. That's funny. All right, let me get to it. Let me get to the. I ain't gonna call him Moist Boyce because he don't sound like he moist here. He sound like he might be wet though. He sound like he might be wet. You know, ain't talking about getting wet. I don't know. Like I said, I don't think he does any of that type of shit. But this ain't Moist Boyce. Boyce sound like he laid up in between Alicia's legs getting his hair braided. But I know Boyce ain't got no hair. So maybe she just greasing his scalp. I don't know what he doing. But when you listen to Boyce, you hear this shit, you'll be like, what the fuck is really going on, boys? So hold on a second. Let me get the volume right. Here we go. God bless her. She gave that man 5 kids. She had 5 children with him? 4 or 5. Somebody, they got a lot of kids. Oh, yeah. Wow, okay. Yeah, like, so as far as I'm concerned. And that's what makes this story tragic. There's kids involved. Yeah. This is bad. Yeah, well, when you give a man 5 kids, as far as I'm concerned, you're officially goddess status. Oh yeah. That's a goddess, because men can't give life to another person. Like, men can plant the seed. Don't get me wrong. We matter. We got to inject the baby juice. Oh, but we got it's better than the government shot. It's not like the vaccine. It's better than the vaccine. It's the Maxine of the Dixine of it. That was kind of graphic. I shouldn't say. Yeah, why is this? It's an early morning voice. I know, oh my God. Language. Oh my God. So we help make the baby, but the woman carries the baby. The woman gives life to the child. I think that's really important. I just think it's important to reflect on that, on the significance of that, because I don't think we respect that enough. Yeah, and it's not until you have a baby that you realize how significant it is. It's like you kind of know, but you don't really know until you go through it or see it or experience it. You don't. It's a miracle that's happening probably right now. Right now, there are a bunch of babies being born right now. And this is a whole long conversation. One of his casts, and it was interesting to me just where they were with it. I mean, they were really into each other. They were really into each other. Like, I don't know, the noise in the background. I don't know if they were at the beach or something. It almost sounded like it had some water. It could have had one of them artificial things going, but they really had set the mood for this whole clip. And I was just like listening to Boyce, because Boyce sounded like he had a cigar in one hand and a glass of brown liquor in the other hand. And he was having a good old time just going through his descriptions and whatnot. And I said, well, goddamn, Boyce, I mean, you sounding really kind of playerish. And I like that kind of voice. Actually, right there, I kind of like that voice. But the funny thing was, they was on this T.I. thing, and he got into talking about the babies. And, basically kind of discounting the men. Like, the men ain't got really shit to do with the baby. The woman, it's all the woman. The women give the baby life and all kinds of shit. And I'm thinking to myself, if the man does not give the woman a live seed, whatever is planted just ain't gonna turn into life. The woman don't give it life. The man gives her life. I've always believed, and it's some of that thinking that now where people think that, women can have babies without men. You can go to a sperm bank, you can get you a friend and do his thing and then get you a turkey baster, but there's still a man that has to be involved. And when you start talking about men, am I crooked? When you start talking about men and their viability to making kids, it's kind of fucked up when you get somebody who I know Boyce feels like he's an alpha male to basically discount men. I mean, let's just listen to it again.
God bless her. She gave, yeah, well, when you give a man 5 kids, as far as I'm concerned, you're officially goddess status.
Oh yeah.
That's a goddess, because men can't give life to another person. Like, men can plant the seed. Don't get me wrong.
He said men can plant the seed.
We matter. We got to inject the baby juice.
Oh, but that's how we do.
We got, it's better than the government shot. It's not like the vaccine. It's better than the vaccine. It's the Maxine of the Dixine of it. That was kind of graphic.
Yeah, that was kind of graphic, Boyce. I don't know why Boyce had to go there. I don't know what Boyce is thinking about. I mean, he went from, injecting the baby juice, to the Maxine, to the Dixine. I ain't never heard Boyce talk like that on the Black Business School. Right. How is that a goddess when, a dog can have kids? You goddamn right. Been plenty of dogs that had some kids out here. Plenty of dogs. And he just went way left with me when he said that. And I was like, I'm not upset at him. It was just funny to see. Oh, man, they done got rid of the Sprint store gone. Well, it ain't Sprint no more. It's T-Mobile. They closed that shop up. I mean, all them people lost their job right here. Because they like you can move them into another store. Now you're cutting in on that sales floor. So somebody had to go somewhere and get a job. Okay. But just listening.
The baby juice. Oh, but we got, it's better than the government shot. It's not like the vaccine. It's better than the vaccine. It's the Maxine of the Dixine of it. That was kind of graphic.
Yeah, why is this? It's an early morning voice.
I know, oh my God.
Language.
Oh, he said, I know, oh my God. Boyce sound like he is wide the fuck open.
So we help make the baby, but the woman carries the baby. The woman gives life to the child. I think that's really important. I just think it's important to reflect on that, on the significance of that, because I don't think we respect that enough.
Yeah, and it's not until you have a baby that you realize how significant it
gives life. The Maxine of the Dixine of it. That was kind of graphic.
Yeah, why is this? It's an early morning voice.
I know, oh my God.
Language.
Oh my God. So we make the
Boyce had something going on. He's in love. That's why, that's why this is so funny, because that's really part of why he's like, Boyce is in love. Boyce is in love. Let me tell you something. Officially, we all grown here. We grown. Boyce is in love. And Alicia done curled his toes good. Alicia done curled Boyce's toes good. He said, oh my God. Yeah. I think Alicia had kids too. I think Boyce had kids. Alicia had kids. So they've been in other relationships, been in marriages, and, they done curled some other toes before. And, it is what it is. But they're in love, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, that was a little sprung dialect. Oh my God. So, I just love hearing him in this way, just like I hear him when he be on his shit in his other situations,
We help make the baby, but the woman carries the baby. The woman gives life to the child. I think that's really important. I just think it's important to reflect on that, on the significance of that, because I don't think we respect that enough.
Yeah, and it's not until you have a baby that you realize how significant it is. It's like you.
The child, like I think that about that. Oh, that was kind of graphic. I shouldn't.
Yeah, why is this? It's an early morning voice.
I know, oh my God.
Language.
Oh my God. So we help make the baby.
Oh, that's great, man. I mean, he's not. I think he's in a better space with her. Even his cast don't sound the same the way they did before. His cast are different now. So, maybe she's going to really put him in a different space. He's got a good following. He's obviously got a good thing going with the Black Business School and everything. And he just needs, sometimes I just think he really needs to go to his strong suits and really kind of leave some of the other stuff to some of the people that are really on the depth with it. But this here, I think this is that man speaking. There ain't nothing wrong with being in love. There ain't nothing wrong with having that in your heart. So, I got to salute the brother. Congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Boyce Watkins, Dr. and Mrs. Boyce Watkins. I don't know if Alicia's a doctor or not. But this iced coffee's good. I just don't like it when the ice be trying to slip through the little thing there and it be kind of having me, looking at it and shit. But the iced coffee's a winner. So I'll do it. I'll do it again. But yeah, he turned me off. He turned me off on a lot of different situations. But I like listening to him when he has Dr. Claude on and let Dr. Claude get his run in. And then boys come back in. They do a little Q&A sometimes. And that's good dialogue. But some of the other stuff I can do without, man. But nah, I ain't never going to dog the brother out for having what he has as his show and this, that, and the other. I just don't like the fence straddling. And I didn't like it when he was kind of against reparations. And then he was for reparations. Don't flip-flop, man. Don't flip-flop. That's a nice little wrangler. Yeah, don't flip-flop, man. Yes, sir. Dr. Claude. Yes, sir. So yeah, I just one more time for your mind, and then we can move on. What we got? Dr. You know what? I might have that Dr. Claude on this one. Yeah, Dr. Claude might be on that one.
I know, oh my God. Language. Oh my God. So we help make the baby, but the woman carries the baby. The woman gives life to the child. Like I think that's really important. Kind of graphic. I shouldn't. Yeah, why is this? It's an early morning voice. I know, oh my God. Language. Oh my God. So we help make the baby, but the woman carries the baby. The woman gives life to the child. Like I think that's really important. I just think it's important to reflect on that, on the significance of that, because I don't think we respect that enough.
Yeah, and it's not until you have a baby that you realize how significant it is. It's like you kind of know, but you don't really know until you go through it or see it or experience it. You don't. It's a miracle that's happening probably right now. Right now, there are a bunch of babies being born right now.
Yeah, she went off on a little rant there, and I think because it really wasn't, planned out. I think that's where good broadcasting is just, we don't have something going, go somewhere else with it. And she didn't really have anything. Boyce wasn't really giving her a baton, to grab onto. And it was just some off the dome shit, but it was good. It was definitely good. I appreciated it. I appreciated it because it wasn't just like his normal shit. And truthfully, I mean, boy, did you see the Derek Jackson book? Jeez, oh, Pete. They need to stop. This was all a setup. This was all a setup. The whole breakup, the whole this, all that. It was all a setup to get to this book sale. And if they can say anything they want to say, but this shit was a setup for the come up. We got going on there. I don't know. So yeah, Dr. Boyce, married, happy, toes curled, wide open. But like I said, if I didn't know him from nobody else, I definitely would have said that Dr. Boyce had got it all wide open with his queen, Alicia. Cause I mean, geez. Yeah, I don't know. But I'll end it with a Dr. Claude. Since I like Dr. Claude so much. Dr. Claude's always in to fight white supremacy. Always in to fight white supremacy. And since we got this situation going on with illegal immigration and illegals, let's go back about 25 years. Listen to Dr. Claude. He told us why it didn't work, wouldn't work. He told us. Just like Kamala told us she wasn't going to do shit for black people, and black people still voted for her, Dr. Claude told us. And black people ran him out of Detroit.
What had happened to black folk over all that period of time? So in the course of the civil rights movement, to end up, they say, well, let's pretend that nothing has happened to them, that they were not injured, they were not hurt. And now let's go seek integration and pretend that we're all equal. Now, that was grossly unfair because by that point in time and by the 1966 period, whites had become economic giants in America. They owned and controlled everything at that point in time. Black folk didn't own anything. Whites controlled almost 100% of all the wealth, the income, the privileges, the businesses, the resources, and all levels of government. Blacks had nothing. Blacks are 1 foot midgets. And they allowed us then to use integration to walk from our communities, from our ghettos over in their communities, totally disarmed, not understanding anything, blind, naked, and then saying you go and compete. Compete with what? And that's what's happening in South Africa right now, where you have black folk now who've been totally subjected to the most brutal form of legal and economic slavery around the world for almost 300 years in South Africa, where whites in South Africa control almost 100% of all the gold mines, the diamond mines, the chrome, the bauxite, the magnesium, the land, the businesses, the farms, the animals. And now in South Africa, they've been told that they're free. Now, anybody in his right mind would have said, hold it a second. Now, if there's been a reform in South Africa, have gotten everything and blacks got nothing, you should have seen on the news a massive flux of whites trying to get out of South Africa. If there's going to be any significant real change, wouldn't you agree? Somebody would have been trying to get out of there. The airports would have been jammed. And you all haven't heard a peep. You know why? Because nothing is changing. Because in South Africa, the dominant, arrogant white society that's been so brutal to black folks still owns and controls 100% of all the gold mines, silver mines, home. They're telling those South Africans you can now compete. That's black.
But our resources is what we compete with. How are we going to compete? And they know, as long as they elevate everybody else and don't give us anything, we either start out or we just buckle down and bottom feed. But it is If you don't see the rest of this, I understand. Hopefully it was clear for the most part. And hopefully we'll get back on here. Congratulations, Dr. Boyce, Alicia. Y'all keep making clips like that. Just really showed how much love Boyce had for Alicia. Oh no, my God. I loved it. One love.